You're listening to the Toad Hop Network, radio worth watching.
We have Armstrong Atlantic State University's finest with us today.
Ooh.
That's right. Received his master's degree from there.
Nice.
Yes. Steve Jones. I started comedy with a Steve Jones. I thought maybe we were going to have a rendezvous and a reconnection, but it's not him.
Also, the lead singer of the Sex Pistols, his name is Steve Jones.
Yes, I know him too.
Not him either.
I know him as well. Yeah. Talks like this. Hey, Steve Jones. Yeah. Talks a lot different than you do. It's great. It's great to have you here because we've never had. Well, why don't you describe for people what you do, because it's very diverse.
Yeah.
So if you were to give the log line on Steve Jones, what would it be?
Dr. Steve G. Jones, what is he all about? Well, I'm about helping people, mainly,
Love
through
that.
hypnosis.
Yeah.
Even though my doctorate is in education, I mainly pursued that just so I can teach people what I do. So a lot of what I do now is teaching the next generation to do what I do, which is helping people through hypnosis, tapping into the power of their subconscious minds.
I love that. And you know what? I don't know if they told you this, but you're here for a reason, because I'm a huge believer in this.
Awesome.
Huge believer in the law of attraction. I've been partners with, I don't know, you know Michael Beckwith from The Secret?
Yeah. Hung out with him a couple weeks ago at his church.
Oh, right on. I've been there for 25 years. And,
Awesome.
And in his movies and stuff like that. I mean, as a matter of fact, it's how we started our show was Sarah.
Yeah.
Met Sarah at Agape, where Michael Beckwith is, and the whole purpose of this show was to help people. It then turned into anal sex and stuff like that. But anyway,
Not all the way, just at times. Just at times.
It's Los Angeles. You never know.
that's what happens. It's the den of debauchery here. But in a serious note is we did, just to be candid, we did begin our process like that with the silly. Now we lead with the silly, but try to help people as well. That's why you're the perfect guest. You're right in our wheelhouse.
Nice.
You're exactly what we want here, because we do have to bring it back from the other places we go.
At times, yeah.
I love
We've
Sarah.
asked.
Sarah keeps on going. At times, we're not that bad. You're almost like shell-shocked from what you've said in the last few months.
I don't remember any of it.
She blocks it out.
It's like somebody was molested.
I'm just
I don't
my
remember.
authentic self.
Now you
on
are,
this.
and you were then as well.
Always.
We're all in a process in life, right?
Absolutely.
That's how it works. You're
Yeah,
all
it makes it fun.
Yeah, it does, and we're all at different stages.
Yep.
We also started off the show, which I wanted to talk to you about, something personal. We started off the show, I wrote a book also to help people.
Cool.
As a matter of fact, my assistant just finished it. It's called Grace Book. It's about finding grace through anything.
Nice.
And we also talk about finding humor through anything. And I have to tell you, so maybe you're here for a reason, I am back in it with my ex-wife. I'm back in it.
Back in
and
it.
I know you know what I mean.
You left, then you went back?
No, back in it, in the hostility, in the conflict.
Oh, in that.
I'm in it.
Yes.
I'm engaged in it.
I've been in that.
And
you
yes,
want to
you
get out
have.
of that as soon as you can. Yeah.
Yes, of course. And now it's been 8 years, and I'm extremely happily married today, and children, another child on the way, and things like that.
But the X resurfaced to cause
As it
challenges.
resurfaces constantly, it's
Lovely.
a big challenge for me.
Yeah.
So I'm your patient.
Okay.
Take me through it.
Well,
Because
why?
I'm willing to
Okay.
go to a place that I'm not willing to go in the last couple of weeks. I'm engaging with her. It's just like old stuff, and it's just coming
Why
up for
would
me.
you do that? Why are you doing that? Do you have kids with her or something?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Oh, otherwise,
Well, you didn't say that, so I didn't know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
He's not called her up or
psychic.
something.
He doesn't know. Yeah.
By the way, I keep thinking, because there's so many job titles, I actually keep thinking, tell me what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your kid's
Tell me
name
What
is
I'm wearing. Tell me what I'm wearing.
I don't know, something like that. You know what I mean?
A yellow sweater.
No, I mean under the
Amazing.
table. I'm under the table. Tell me what's on. And no, I'm saying that what I meant by that was I'm not. I guess you don't know me though. I guess I'm not that crazy to stay engaged with an ex that I don't have children with. We have children together, and these are, in my opinion, used as pawns or hostages, so that there remains this conflict. She gets to stay engaged with me. I lately have not been stepping away like I used to in a healthy manner. I used to be able to step away, and I would even teach people how to do it. I'm not teaching myself right now.
You're in it.
That's exactly
As you
what I
say.
mean. I am in it.
So can you give me more information?
Sure.
Like-
What information? Now, pretend I'm your client. I love. I'm getting this for free.
There you go.
But anyway,
Well,
pretend
no, we'll send you a bill.
Yeah.
pretend I'm a client. and ask me what you need to, and I will tell you flat out. I am definitely very honest about my part in things. I'm not going to lie to you. I will tell you where I go off, and I'll tell you where I get back to center.
Okay. Well, I've got very little information. But how long were you married?
We knew each other. Just you didn't ask this, but knew each other for 20 years. And I ran into her one night, and we got married instantly and pregnant that night. Okay. And then it's been hell ever since. That was 15 years ago. And then we've been divorced for 8 years. And we have 2
children together. Is that 20 plus 15 plus 8? Or am I
don't know.
adding wrong?
No, so how long were you married? 9 years?
What's that? No, I met her actually, what am I saying? I met her 27 years ago.
Okay.
And then after that, we dated again, and we dated for like 1 minute. Then that's when the pregnancy happened, and I did what I thought was the good thing, and bought a house and moved in. And I'd tell people, hey, we're getting married. And we go, to who?
So you didn't want to be married.
They literally went to who? Oh, did I want to be married? In a huge way.
You did.
Oh, a huge way.
You said you did the thing you thought you were supposed to do.
No. Well, that's part of my little equation. But yes, no, I hugely wanted to be married, and I hugely wanted to be married to her because I had all these ideas of who I thought she was based on when we were in our early 20s.
And then
from years before.
Why are you no longer married to her if that's what you wanted?
No, I wanted that, but then it turns out it wasn't who I thought she was.
Okay, so she lied or something?
I married an idea of what I thought somebody was.
And then she revealed herself. How was she?
Revealed herself in many ways that
you don't want to get into.
I could get into it. Whatever you want to get into, I will get into.
Did she lie to you? Did she cheat on you?
No. I don't think so. Lying.
Turn out to be a man?
No, lying on a daily basis. But it's like it's a pathological thing that I don't even know that she knows that she does. I mean, it's really that level.
Okay.
And it's very hard to deal with because then when you're trying to do something reasonable, like maybe negotiate something, somebody that lies pathologically and sees to it that other people are lied to try to get them to engage in it as well. Now you're off in bad land.
Right.
Yeah, so, it's really, really difficult.
But you had known her for 20-something years before.
I sort of
and
did.
that didn't come out?
No, not like that. And you're 20. You know what I mean? 23 years old.
Well, you weren't 20 for 20-something years.
No. I didn't see her for all of those years. I always had a memory of her as somebody that helped me.
So you met her 20-something years ago?
25, 26, briefly? 27 years ago, dated for a very brief time, and then we dated again, and she just helped me through grief is the basic reason I kept holding on to this belief that this was a very kind and loving person.
What grief were you going through?
A couple deaths, and she helped me with some other things, addictions, and so I just looked at her as this person that was really a giver and a helper, and now that I can assess it in a different way, it's not the case.
Okay. How are you able to assess it in a different way now? Did you get
because of the experience. I mean, the experience was, this is only about you. I mean, meaning her. I mean, This is everything has to do with the ego, and the manifestations of it are terror. It's literally like a terrorist, and I'm not exaggerating. Okay. The things that have been done have been terror-like, and that's what it feels like. I'm in a hut in Iraq, and all of a sudden a bomb comes in, and now I have to clean up and make sure my family's okay. And that's what it's like. Another Scud missile comes into my yurt. Is that what they're called?
Or your house,
your hut,
whatever.
I tend to go in metaphors that make no sense.
I wish we could bring her in and get her side of the story. It might be a little different than this.
Yeah, well, you certainly would get a different side of the story. But I'm trying.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that is your perspective and your perception.
Absolutely, there's not a question about that. But what I do think that you would find is, you'll get this perspective from me. And by the way, I'm focusing on the negative, and you were asking me the reasons why it's not together.
Right.
If I was to give you positives, that wouldn't be reasons to be not together. It'd be reasons I should go back with her.
I agree with that.
So I'm trying to cliff note this thing.
Okay.
I don't want to create her as this monster. I'm just telling you what is and what's real and what's now. Is this thing is still rearing its ugly head. My reaction to it is I can't do anything about hers, although I try, and that's my biggest mistake.
Trying to control her.
Yeah, well, not trying to control. It's trying to get reasonability and trying to get even an answer on something that should be easy, or then I'll get other people to do it so I know that it's not me. Like my assistant, my wife, my business manager have all tried to deal with her. But you're talking about, she's got a disorder that I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you what it is, but It would be me diagnosing it, so I guess I
you
can't tell
diagnosed
you.
it, okay. So
Not
it may
only
not
me,
be.
but we had other things done. You have the evaluations and all that. So
By a professional?
definitely been evaluated as issues.
Okay, so that's not you evaluating. That's a professional diagnosis.
But and I'd be, and again, I'm always willing to look at myself and find out what my issues are, because I'm drawing in this law of attraction. I'm drawing this in.
That's
not a
negativity.
question about it.
Yep.
No, and by the way, she's not the only one that I'm drawing in. I just got an email from another guy I used to work with. I mean, it was vile. And I'm going, whoa. And then I got an email from my ex-wife's father. I got you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, they're coming in.
Well, as we say, the common factor in all of these is
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm drawing this in. There's no question about it. I'm drawing in people with almost the same exact word-for-word disorder, if you will.
Interesting.
The same exact.
Which people tend to do. That doesn't make you an anomaly. That's normal. People tend to do that.
Well, to tell you, to be honest again, is I married my mother the first time. I married my mother.
Okay.
That's who she is.
That's
She's
normal
100% my mother, including like thinking that she's going to be normal or do something normal or be loving and not make it about her. All that. That's what my thought was.
Right.
And now, by the way, achieved that. I got not my mother. I got 100% full on 24/7 every moment of the day love with my wife now. My wife it's the most amazing thing I've ever
Except for
experienced.
this ex who's still
that's what hovers over me. The other ones, the other letters I'm getting from other people, I can handle those, and I'm not really locked into those as much. Although I do go to my little Craig dealing with his mother place of I defend.
Okay.
Defend myself, defend my honor, defend my character, and so on, defend my integrity, which is being questioned, and it's being accused and falsely accused and things like that, and then things blow up and they go out of proportion. And by the way, my ex took this to a very far degree of huge accusations, really
legal,
really
okay.
bad, like
All right.
like as bad as it can get. And I had to spend a lot of money defending that. So that's literal defense.
Right.
But then there's the figurative defense. Anyway, much of that is past.
Okay.
I believe.
It sounds like you cleaned up a lot of your stuff, and you've got this past lingering on.
Yes.
Like a buddy you used to hang out and party with, kind of like coming back and saying, hey,
very good
remember we used
analogy. Your analogies are much better than mine.
Like your buddy in Iraq.
I'm in
and your
Iraq
yurt.
in a yurt and everything with a Scud missile coming in.
It's very visual.
And
I
yours
like
is very real. It's like your buddy who's a drunk.
I don't want
and you don't want to
bombs.
hang with him anymore. Which, by the way, that's happened as well. Is I had to cut certain toxic people out of my life. But some of them, like her, for instance, I am locked into literally.
Right.
And I've tried every method possible, including having other people deal with her. But it's the same result.
How
It's
old
like
are the
she
kids?
has the power because she has the power over the children.
And how
Or
old
not
are they?
over the children, but 9 and 15.
Okay, so you got a little ways to go.
And I watched the 15-year-old try to deal with her yesterday, and it's like me with my mother. It's what it reminded me of. It's like emotional hostage. He's like completely in angst and really upset, and she's not listening to him, and it's all about her. You can hear the conversation. It's like it's identical. And so anyway, so that's where we are. So I'm with him is I want to protect the children, but I understand that they're on their own path as well.
Right.
And he's going to figure this out when he figures it out. It looks like he is a lot earlier than I did, but and the other child as well. But so anyway, what do you have for me?
Well, first of all, I would let go of the idea that your point of view is the correct point of view, and that your son sees it now because he sees what you saw, so now he's in the right, whereas before he didn't see it. I would let go of that. Even though it may be right, it's not really doing you any good.
No, it won't.
Plus, you've got to realize that you're stuck with her until these kids are both 18. So the youngest one's 9, so you've got, 9 more years. So, like it or not, this is your reality, and you're not able to fix her. You've acknowledged that. The only one you can fix is yourself. You've got to find some way to find peace of mind to deal with this, because you're on this train, and there's no getting off for 9 years. So,
right.
The only one you can fix is yourself. So, hypnotherapy can come into play by just giving you peace of mind, maybe giving you some tools, some resources, maybe vacations. I mean, it's kind of like you've got this sentence with her, and there's no getting out early, and that's just the way it is. Now, I feel sorry for you, but that's your reality.
Well, I always want to know, who's going to help me? Where's my warden that I can at least go to? And
You want to tell on her. You want to get her in trouble.
I want to speak my piece to the warden.
Right. Well, you can speak it
By
all
the way,
day.
that's what she does, though. She'll go to a judge, and she thinks that they're all going to go, oh, you're right, he's an abusive, horrible person, and put the gavel down. It's never happened because it's not real.
Right.
But she does sneak these things in because she lives this life 24/7.
Yeah.
It's not my world. I was told by a lawyer, he goes, you have no ability to fight her because she's with this 24/7, no job. This is her job.
That's
no
what she
man.
does. Hey, I understand.
No, it's 24/7.
Yep.
I'm trying to live my life free and simply and happy, the happy life that I've created, but there's this thing.
Right.
So that's where we are.
You've got to install, and it sounds like you've done it to some degree, like having friends deal with stuff. You've got to install some walls to deal with this. You've got to protect yourself the best you can for the
Okay,
next 9
all
years.
right, I love that. Okay, now I will tell you what I've told every therapist when she and I used to go, and every lawyer and every judge, everybody, is I am not exaggerating. There is, with the people with this disorder, there is no wall because they are so strong, they'll move the fucking wall.
You may think...
No, I'm not exaggerating.
Okay.
They will move the wall. There's no boundaries. I'll play you a message right now. She says it flat out. She says it flat out in a screaming message to me.
Says what?
You know, I'll get the attention I need because she's refusing to do what the law told her to do.
Okay. Have you gone to the authorities with this
that's what
information?
that's what I'm saying. I'm not. It's not my game. It's not my game. This is a spiritual game.
What does
for
that
me.
mean?
That's why I'm talking to you.
Have you reported
my
this to
game
people
is
who can actually help you?
my game is not to invest more of my future, my children's future, into legal proceedings of which then she's just going to go in.
But
and
your
that's
game
her
is
game.
to make this a big deal and complain about it, whereas you have the avenues to deal with it in a productive way.
Wait a minute. My game is to complain about it.
I think so.
No, my game
You
is.
have a way to deal with this. You can just report. I asked you if you reported this to the authorities. I didn't get an answer. Did you?
Some of the latest shenanigans. I've reported some things in defense. Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
Instead of telling us, why don't you tell them, the people who can actually help you?
So
the
that's your
authorities?
solution, is you think that I should go to the
You've
authorities.
got to put
with
up.
it.
My solution is for you to protect yourself while you're on this train for 9 years. And one of the ways is to put up these walls. And one of the ways to build a wall is to report what's going on to the people who can actually help you. We don't
Which
have
would
the
be
power
who?
to.
Which would
be
that
the
be?
law. The law
Who's
can
the
help
law?
you. I would think the police perhaps could
Okay,
help you if you're being threatened.
I'll give you an example. I went to the police.
Okay.
And they interviewed the children, and they wrote her up for cruelty to minors. That's how bad it is.
Okay.
I didn't say anything to the kids because they were just dropped off. Went in with the police. The guy comes out and goes, "That woman needs to be handled." This
Okay.
guy. So then I kept going with it, and they refused to do anything else. They hand it over to someone else, and then it gets lost, and it's in the system. I'm telling you, the legal system, especially for a father, is not. It is a really broken system.
Okay.
Big
And
time. So all of my reporting to that level has not worked in any way or
So
fashion.
you gave up because it hasn't worked so
No.
far?
What we did was we came up with some legal documents, but again, she'll just challenge all of them. She did something. She did something recently. It was like completely a criminal activity.
Did you report it?
No,
Why not?
Because I'm telling you, they don't do anything about it.
That's your perception. If you keep
No, that's
reporting
the reality. They did nothing about
You
that
didn't
cruelty
report
to
this one.
minors.
You didn't report this one.
All right. Well, so that's your advice: is I should go report this.
No, that's part of my advice.
The
My
other thing in the back of my head is I do not want to punish their mother. I
Okay.
don't want to punish their mother.
Well,
I do.
I don't want you to punish her either, but I want you to protect yourself. And part of protecting yourself is telling the right people when you're being picked on, which is what's happening. You're being bullied, it sounds like.
It is. Absolutely. It's emotional
Well, you
bullying.
don't tell your fellow classmates, there's not much we can do for you. I can work with you with hypnosis to make you feel calm, but if you're actually being bullied, you need to report that.
Okay. All right. So that's the first
Consistently.
step. So that's the first step is legally I need to do something. I need to report this.
Sounds like it.
Well, I've been I told her a million times in every different way, and she actually literally thinks that my email of saying this is okay is abuse. That's how she twists things. It's like the amount of emails I'm saying, no, that's contempt. You didn't show up with the kids when you were supposed to. That's called contempt. She then emails back, you're this, you're that, you're abusive, and how many emails there are, she makes it about her.
Right.
So now we're stuck in the same place.
Right.
So where do you go with that?
I wouldn't. If I were you, you're way too invested in this. I would not communicate with her directly. I would communicate through an attorney with her. Have the attorney communicate. You're just going to set up an email chain of all these potentially abusive emails that you are sending that she could use against you.
Right.
And you're just going to make her mad and make yourself mad, more mad. So communicate with her through a third party.
Right.
That's great advice.
It is great advice. Yeah. Now, let me tell you the negative on it.
Oh, that wasn't the negative part?
No, the negative on what you're saying.
Okay, go ahead.
Lawyers cost a lot of money,
Okay.
and I don't have the money.
Okay.
She literally broke us. I mean, I used to be really successful, and we are completely flat broke.
Okay.
And I'm not exaggerating. Completely took us down intentionally. She wouldn't pay the bills. Had kept my name on it. All that stuff. She goes, screw him. When we finally figured it out, and we're going to be foreclosed upon. All of that stuff. Damage. I'm telling you, it's just a 24/7 damage. And how you mitigate the damage is what I'm talking to you about. Is it's really difficult because there aren't people that support these things.
I believe the court system has something called mediation that they provide at no charge. I could be wrong about that because I'm not an attorney, but you may want to look into that. I don't think you need an expensive attorney to do this. I think the court system can do it since you have children.
Okay. Now, what is your suggestion? Okay, I got that, and I've had that from a number of people. But as the expert, we're here with Steve Jones, by the way, who's a hypnotherapist. We went very far away from hypnotherapy.
Apparently, I'm a lawyer and a psychiatrist.
Now we're in the legal system.
Yikes.
What would your suggestion be for me to get to self-awareness, to get to more self-awareness, of which I've been on that process and been there?
I sense that.
I had a huge shift, by the way, with her.
Nice.
In the graduation last year. My eye is twitching. I must be having stress. Anyway,
That's got to be normal for you.
I had a shift. No, it's not. I had a shift with her. I'm not kidding you. It was unbelievable. It was monumental. It was back in at my son's graduation for junior high. Oh, my God. It was amazing what took place. And then now I'm back in it. Now I say I'm back in it.
What was
I'm
the
not
shift?
saying,
What shift did you have?
something happened where I went, wow, this is the mother of this boy, and I actually asked the other children to step aside so the three of us could take a photo together, and I had tears in my eyes, and it was beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful. I felt a palpable, divine intervention in
How long
that
did
moment.
That last?
It lasted pretty long.
Pretty long? How long?
I mean,
Couple weeks.
no, a little longer than that. No, actually a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
And I wrote her a letter, and this isn't the first time I've done this as well, is to try to smooth things by completely owning my part in this, like
Right.
100%, like none of her.
How
And
did
I
that-
did that. That was the best that's ever gone, because I've done that
Okay.
before. But she actually wrote back, and for the first time in her life said a couple little I'm sorries, and that was really good. So it was shifting along that way. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of the problem developed when I started drawing the lines in the sand. And with somebody like this, it's almost like, aha, he put a line in the sand. Watch what I do. And I'm not saying she does it personally to me. It's like somebody with lung cancer and they cough. They're supposed to. Somebody of this disorder, that's what they do. It's my level of acceptance that stopped.
Yep. Now,
That
did you
stopped
know-
the shift.
Did you know that she was going to do this before you did whatever?
Shift?
Before you drew the line?
Did I know she was going to do it?
React
No.
negatively?
This is Steve.
You seem to know a
be-
lot about her disorder.
To
So
be honest with you, I go into my places of not being centered and not being shifted, and that's when it happens. That's when this happens. It is me. It's
Okay.
not her.
Well, that's why
Again,
you need the mediator. And if you want to write a nice letter, I think that's fine.
No, I
It's-
need a hypnotherapist. That's why you're here.
Oh, okay. I forgot I was a hypnotherapist for.
Yeah, you got to take.
Oh, you
off
want to
the
talk about
robe.
hypnotherapy?
You gotta
Okay.
take-
Yay.
you
I guess
gotta-
we could talk about that.
You got to take off the robe here for a minute.
Yeah, well, you put it on me. So.
But no. I came to you and I said, as a hypnotherapist, what would
He
you
has
do?
You came to me
great
with your legal
boundaries.
problems.
You have great boundaries. It's fantastic.
Yeah, you love it because it's on me.
No, I love it because I'm like, yeah, this is an adult having great boundaries. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Now, if I were to play the part of her, I would violate your boundaries. And then what would you do? Call the police.
I would leave if she violated my boundaries. I'm
that
not
what you would
stuck.
do?
I'm not stuck with her for 9 years. You are. You can't leave.
Yeah, you're just stuck on this interview.
No, I love it. I love this interview because I'm helping. I would not leave this interview. If she came in here and threatened me, I would leave. I wouldn't call the police. I would just take myself out of the
Okay,
situation.
let's say not threaten. Let's say she started accusing you. So now let's say we're in therapy, which she and I have done before. I even
Okay.
tried it again a few weeks ago. Oh, we're going to have to come back to it.
Oh boy.
Is that a good tease? Is that going to keep people?
I'm not
Oh,
sure.
I'm
Are
intrigued.
they on the edge of their seats? I know we're on the edge of the seat on our we have something going on Facebook, a little game.
Okay.
These are people that aren't listening right now.
Okay.
But they're still on my Facebook, which has, tens of thousands or whatever.
Nice.
So I wanted to see, do people go to the negative or do they go to the positive? On likes and comments, here it is. So we put two posts
that's
up
the official
there.
paper.
One post said in a positive way, I got a refund on my taxes. Yay. Okay, that was one. And the other one is, I'm pooping blood. I don't know what to do.
Now those are in response to your
Okay, so
challenges?
they have no idea it's a challenge.
Oh,
They
that's
have to
what you
just post.
posted.
Those are the two posts.
Okay.
What was
so
it?
we
You
wanted
lost
to
me
do.
at- what was the first one?
We were
What's
doing
the first one?
We were doing
Tax
I got a
refund.
tax
Got it.
refund. So
Okay.
that's positive and a negative.
Okay.
So we were both saying, Sarah was saying it'll be triple the amount of likes on the bad one, and I said probably double. Here's so far what we have. Pooping blood, 36 likes. Who likes somebody pooping blood? This is crazy.
Well, there's no I'm concerned button.
They need a new. We were saying they need new.
How
buttons.
many comments?
No, that includes comments.
Oh, that's likes and comments, and
Okay.
and the total on the refund and the taxes more than we thought.
How?
So far, I'm in the lead, Sarah, because it's double. It's 15 likes and comments.
All right,
okay,
so far.
So it's 15 to 36. Sarah's going to try to win this thing and like have her friends. She'll be texting her friends.
No.
Are you on the poop side or the
No, we're
tax side?
saying
Which-
the negative side. The negative's
You
going
want
to win
that
this
side
thing.
to win? Okay.
I don't want it to win.
It's
I
more
just think it probably
intriguing
will.
and-
It's fascinating
Concerning
how
and-
we do gravitate towards
And
the
then we
negative.
could learn about the
which is basically what this
hypnotherapy.
is about. But I'm gravitating towards the negative. Let's see if
all
Steve
good.
Jones can get me back to the positive, and you as well. Maybe you can learn from my mistakes and my process and my experience. Maybe you out there can learn from it. Steve Jones is our special guest, and we're coming right back. We have Steve Jones, the hypnotherapist, this week, and then we have Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols next week.
We should only have Steve Jones.
And then what I'll do is I'll go to
Steve Jones show.
Yeah,
There's also a professional golfer named Steve Jones.
Exactly.
See?
And then I'll have
We're
him on,
set.
and we'll see, and I'll bring every one of them. I'll bring the golfer, the former punk star, and the hypnotherapist on, and see what I'll bring the
Be a showdown.
relationship. No, I'm going to bring that divorce scenario to every one of them and see what their suggestions are. Like Steve Jones, I think he's from New Zealand. We go, I'll tell you what you got to do, sir. And I mean, maybe he'll like tell me to putt often.
I'm for
or-
sure not going to be here for those episodes.
Steve Jones. I guess I've got to. But
Steve Jones, the punk rocker of Sex Pistols.
I
You wouldn't want
would
to be
hear
there.
about
Is this
your
on Jones's
ex-wife.
Jukebox? He had a radio show in town a while back.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Cool.
Jones, yeah.
I use Steve G. Jones to separate myself from
Yeah.
the other Steve
Okay.
Joneses. So.
He and I were, believe it or not, he was in spinning class with me.
Really?
Spinning.
Staying in shape.
Can you imagine that? Him
That's awesome.
spinning.
Well,
And
with the
you know,
guitar? Or no?
Natalie Portman was in our class.
Really?
That's
told you that.
awesome. He's got
quite
a
a
huge
class.
crush
But she was
on
like
him.
15 at the time, so you weren't allowed to have a
Oh,
crush.
weird.
Well, I was because I was the right age. Then.
Okay, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could have, it'll be
Yeah, she was my
appropriate.
age.
But when I was behind her in spinning class, it was completely inappropriate.
Yeah.
I kept thinking,
Oh, boy.
she was so good in that.
Don't.
Oh, boy.
She was so
boy.
good in that movie. What do you mean, don't? I was
What
talking about
movie?
that
Which
the
one?
movie when
The Professional.
Yes,
Yeah,
she was
she's
great in
amazing.
that.
She was the kid in that?
Yeah, she was
Oh, okay.
amazing
That's
in
an
that
awesome
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about your feet. Do
My
you have
feet.
Good feet.
No, I have terrible toes. They're like prehensile.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This was a divine intervention. You're here.
If you
One
could
of-
help me, I would.
Our
appreciate
key
it.
sponsor is Healthy. Write this down. Healthy Feet Store. I closed my eyes for that picture of Kimmy. Healthy Feet Store. HealthyFeetStore.com. If you go there and you put in our little code, you will get a discount. And everything is made by orthopedic surgeons, so you can get good balance. Every one of my shoes is from there.
What's your little code?
And they're real. It's Laugh It Off 2013. By the way,
Okay.
that's a very good guest you are right there. When you realize that
Yeah.
I hadn't said what the code was,
Yeah.
that you
I got
were
your back.
hanging on the edge. You say, "I need that code."
I gotta get my feet fixed.
Yeah, well, here's how it works: is you just go buy these about 1,000 shoes. I have no idea. It's a lot of shoes, but all different name brands. Really good looking shoes. Every one of my shoes is from there. And I have got to tell you, it gives you good balance. Your feet feel better, and so on. Even your calves, your ankles. If you have any injuries, it makes you feel better because they're all designed by, as all shoes should be. They should have looks and be designed right. If you build a foundation, you don't want it to be the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
They're designed by.
Orthopedic surgeons.
Nice.
Okay, that's who owns the company. So there you go. HealthyFeetStore.com. Laugh It Off 2013.
Thank you.
There, we got out of our business. You're welcome. Steve Jones is our guest from Savannah, Georgia, and also offices in New York and California, just everywhere.
We have offices everywhere.
That's
We have
awesome.
an office here right now.
Yes,
My legal office.
Well, I'm kind of. Yeah, let's take that robe off. So you've advised me legally, but now I want to talk to you about what to do, what you would do with a client who's in this situation. I'm not the first one. I might
Right.
be the first one that's honest enough to look at himself.
There you go.
Do you find that to be the case, that most people are resistant to really self-exploration?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
you seem very open. I mean, I've thrown some, direct jabs at you, and you've done very well with them.
Yeah. Sarah, by the way, was very happy about that. She already expressed that. She
it.
sits over there.
Jab, jab,
she's,
jab.
Punch
she's-
away.
She's literally like your corner man.
Yeah,
Okay.
got
She's
it. I
over
have
there.
your back,
That's what you
Steve.
got to do. I'm telling you.
Gang up on him. Wait till all the Steve Joneses come.
He's weak. Come at him with your left. He's weak that way.
No, I don't want you
He's
to
got a
like, kick
bad
him when
eye.
he's down,
He's
but
got a
I think
bad
that's
eye.
very helpful. Like, it's very helpful.
Shut up, smoking your electronic cigarette over there. Like, you don't have issues.
I
Anyway,
have
that was a pen.
issues. I have issues, and I'm waiting for us to talk about the breast enlargement hypnotherapy.
That's in there, by the way. We'll get back to me in a second, but daily affirmations.
Right.
Daily affirmations. One of the daily affirmations has to do with breast enlargement.
Yeah.
Is that real?
Does it change your
breasts are real. Breasts are real.
Does it change your hormones though? Like, does everything enlarge?
Well, this springs from some studies, mostly in the 1950s, that showed that the brain can affect the physiology of the body.
Absolutely.
The American Medical Association, to the best of my understanding, did some looking into concerning this. And there was a lot of research done that showed you can control blood. You can get two people and prick them with a pin on their arm. The one who receives suggestions for the blood stopping bleeding sooner will actually stop sooner. So we apply the same concept to breast enlargement and anything else. There's not a guarantee that it's going to happen, but the theory is sound. Now, if it doesn't work, we have a 60-day refund. We can give the money back. But my understanding is that the physiology of the body can be affected by the brain. The brain can be affected by programming.
Yeah, I just don't want it to change all of my hormones because I got on the pill and everything just got a little puffy, from the hormones. Mm-hmm. And that would be the thing. I don't really need. Shut up, Greg. No. I don't really need.
In the wrong areas.
I'm fine. That's my.
I didn't
size.
say you weren't. What specific areas did you get puffy?
Because puffy was your goal, right?
Yeah.
No, I like to look like I have an eating disorder, so it's not my goal. Camera ready. Everything. My face,
everywhere, okay.
my boobs, my hips.
So you achieved it in one area that you wanted it to.
Yeah,
correct?
It's awesome. It's awesome that those are puffy.
Bigger boobs.
Tiny, Let
me see.
Big, no, fuck off.
What do you mean, fuck off? This is for the show. I don't give a shit about you.
Sure.
You really think I give a shit?
He's a professional.
Exactly.
They're going now. My body's balancing back out because it's 3 months.
I didn't mean to let me see them live and real and up close and all that. I mean, just
no, of course not.
All right, I'm not noticing any difference right now.
Cool. How about in my face?
No, I'm not noticing a difference there. You think it's puffier?
I think
hey, wait a minute. I did tell you last week you look really, really beautiful.
Yeah. It's probably good because I have life energy back in me. So, my appetite came back. So, it's probably, good.
Why were you taking hormones? Can you discuss
I'm on
that?
the birth control. Pill. Because I started seeing somebody. I went through a bad breakup several months ago. And it was bad on my emotional system, everything, spiritually. It was really, it was just kind of sucked my energy out. And then now I'm very happy and things are good.
A few weeks later?
No. I mean, that was months ago. And then I started seeing somebody.
Okay, I thought you said a few weeks.
Would you really call it a bad breakup? I wouldn't call it.
No, it was great. It was empowering. I made a choice as a woman to be empowered and make adult decisions, which is good. And I got self-conscious when I went on the pill because I got puffy. And now it's balancing. This is boring. Guys, this is
she wants it just all in specific areas.
The irony of the law of attraction. She really said, I want to get to me. And now that we're all focused on it,
get off me.
Get off of me.
Let's talk about money.
Good looking at me.
Let's get off of me right now.
Because I'm happy with my body.
As a matter of fact, in the commercial break, you were saying, I want to talk about breast enlargement. We went right to it, and now we're off of it already.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Yeah.
I think we segued into puffiness.
What about penis reduction? Do you do that?
Reduction?
Reduction?
Are you having a challenge with that? Is that why your wife no longer wants to?
The difficulty. It's just.
Reduction. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about finances. We get it. Love master. Giant penis.
All right. Yeah, there you go. Boo-hoo. So I just want to mention some things because people are very much unaware of what you do. Some of the things you do in your daily affirmations are breast enlargement, impotency. You handle divorce. I noticed that one. That's why I
helping people deal with it emotionally.
Helping with people deal with it emotionally. Right. So let's get back to that.
Not a divorce attorney.
How would you deal with? I noticed. How would you go to the legal system? So how do you deal with that? What would you suggest that I do in my affirmations? First of all, let's start with the affirmations. How does that work?
Okay, well, affirmations are just designed to build you up. And, they've been made fun of on Saturday Night Live by the guys, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. But they're actually real. Affirmations, despite the making fun of them, they're actually real.
I send one to my son, my teen son. I send him one every day.
Which,
I text
like what?
Him one.
Can you give an example?
I'll go get where's my cell phone? Do you have my cell phone? Yesterday, for instance, I gave him, this was my own. I make up some and some I get off the internet.
Okay.
Yesterday.
And steal mine from now on.
Yesterday, I told him, I said, I am committed to being committed.
That sounds a little confusing.
It does.
Being committed to
really
mental institute?
No. I know we went funny with that one.
Yeah. It sounds a little vague. It's what I'm saying. Affirmation.
I'm committed to my commitments.
Okay. What are your commitments?
Okay. I gave that
So
to
the
him.
affirmation should be very specific, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what your commitments are based on, unless he already knows. Unless
Well, wait a
you've
second.
already
Wait
shared
a
them with
second.
him.
All right, I'm going to argue with you again.
Okay.
Whatever your commitment is, you're committed to it, that you will see it through.
Well, that's not necessarily a good
Let's
thing.
say-
You're
okay.
committed to beating yourself up. You're committed to complaining to the wrong people. Those are your commitments.
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about if you have a commitment like I'm going to meet you at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
You meet that commitment. So
All
you're
right.
committed to meeting that
Well,
commitment.
you're being
if I'm
vague.
committed to my health,
Okay.
I am now going to
I like
show
that.
up. I'm going to show up for myself.
I like that.
And so that was the affirmation I gave to him yesterday.
Okay. But the affirmation, the way it reads is...
Maybe I should have got one off the internet.
There you go. Just steal them from now on. Because your affirmation just says, I'm going to stay the way I am. And that's the way it sounds to me.
No. I'll tell you why that one was designed for him specifically is he drops things. You know what I mean? Like we all do.
Okay.
But he doesn't follow through with commitments. If
Okay.
you make a commitment with someone, what I'm trying to teach my children and myself is follow through with a commitment. And it includes my phone call to you will be at this time.
Right.
My phone call will last this amount of time. It could be as simple as that. Or I'm committed to working out at 8:30 in the morning every other day.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to follow through with that commitment and follow it all the way through.
Okay.
So I'm committed to my commitments.
Okay.
That's
So-
what the affirmation was
So
about.
really what you meant was you're committed to improving your life.
Okay. So, well, I guess one would think that would be sort of part of what the affirmation would be. Even the word affirmation is about affirming something.
Right.
Because you could say affirmations, I guess what you're saying is they could be negative affirmations.
Right. It's just very vague. I mean, we don't know what your commitments are based on that statement. Your commitments could be to negative things. You could be committed to hurting people, for example.
But one would assume that if we're doing affirmations that wouldn't be
One
it.
should not assume.
Oh,
when
really?
dealing with the law of attraction, the
Love it.
universe.
He's challenging
That
you,
kind of thing.
Sarah.
Yeah,
Look at you like a fucking tiger.
into it.
Go get him, Steve Jones.
There you go.
No, I don't think it's personal. I'm just interested in
It's not personal at
in
all.
what he's saying.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people are listening to this. I'm trying to help everyone.
Yeah.
Be
But
very specific.
yeah, be very specific in your affirmations.
Okay.
My good friend Joe Vitale talks about this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was the star of The Secret. He talks about affirmations. You have to state it in the here and now. It has to be very positive, and it has to be very specific. And that's
Okay.
how you're going to get the result you want.
Okay, well, let me give you that one as an example. I was dropping him off at school, and I came up with that one without going on the internet. Now,
Don't do that anymore.
I
Yeah. Good.
can
See,
show
we're
you
learning.
some. I
We
can
are
show you
learning.
some of the ones I've given him.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm gonna go-
so if you're trying to manifest money, then like it's not specific enough to say I'm very wealthy. Like, do you have to get even more specific
I would.
than that?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm very wealthy is great. I
Uh-huh.
think that's an awesome affirmation. There's nothing wrong with it. It just could be better.
Yeah.
You know, I have X amount of money in the bank right now. And even if you say it and you know it's not true, your subconscious mind doesn't realize that. And the
Yeah.
universe and your subconscious mind start to look for ways to make it true in your environment.
Yeah.
You start acting on opportunities that you may have passed up on before. Because now you're programming yourself, I am wealthy. Well, what do wealthy people do? They look for situations to get more wealthy or to maintain their wealth.
Yeah. I
How
love
do
it.
you then not feel stupid saying things that aren't true?
You just have to get
That's-
over it.
That's my
Yeah, it's
block.
going to sound silly. If
Yeah.
you're broke and you say I'm wealthy, it's going to sound silly, and you're going to don't want to say it around
But if
people.
he
maybe.
has that thought, this is stupid, this isn't true, isn't that in his subconscious
Yes,
mind? So
yes.
how do you get rid of
Ignore
that?
that. It will the proof is in the pudding. Once your bank account starts to increase, you'll see, hey, this stuff really works. You know,
Yeah.
the Steve G. Jones guy wasn't just saying stuff. This is real stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're going to program yourself for success, and you're going to start taking advantage of the opportunities that you're probably passing up on right now.
Right.
You're surrounded by opportunities to get wealthy in this town.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you one of my. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple that I said. I
Oh,
feel
boy.
so bad now. I thought I was doing something good as a parent.
You're doing fine.
He's
it
a
could just be
15-year-old.
It could
and
be
I'm just
better
trying
and
to
more
get-
clear.
Okay, better and more clear. Okay.
Your intention is awesome.
The commitments are okay. Here's another one I gave him. I said, Justin, affirm, wherever I am, there is joy and laughter. No,
That's cute.
I like that one.
I think it's nice. You're,
Nice.
you need to be more direct. You need to think of it like a bow and arrow shooting a target.
Like what? How could you
Not-
make
let go
that
of the
more
poetry.
specific?
Yeah. Yours would be nice if
how
you were a
about this
poet.
one? I feel like an idiot now.
I love
No,
it.
you're
I actually
fine. You
thought
just
I was
need.
clever. I thought these were. All right.
They are clever, but the clever's not
Justin,
what we're looking for.
I said, I'm Justin. Affirm the world is abundant with joy, love, and inner peace. It's always there if I
Awesome.
simply pause and ask for it to manifest.
Awesome.
That's a good one. He must have had a good day. What day was that?
these.
Oh, that was back in October. The poor kids had a rough November.
You got to understand.
It just started.
What you're writing will be great in a book. I put that stuff in a book. But affirmations, you should really keep it simple. You know, it's like when
I thought the commitment to committing was simple, and I thought that
it's vague. There's no goal in mind. What commitment? You're committed to what?
All right,
robbing banks?
For God's sakes, give me a good one. If that's what his commitment is, if that makes him feel good about himself, if that makes him wealthy, if that makes him wealthy, it covers it all.
If that was your intention,
get some big tits out of it, whatever.
Puffiness.
Good God. Create a specific affirmation, and we can revisit it next week. Give me a specific affirmation.
I have $100,000 in my bank account.
Oh, my God, that's how it works?
Yeah. Specific.
Joel, I'm with you. I'm a little
it's right
scared
now
of
and
that.
it's specific.
I know, it is hard to say.
a scary
it's hard
one.
to,
Try it. Go ahead, say. I'm sure you'll be fine.
I have $100,000 in my bank account.
Good God, I could tell you it's bullshit.
I know.
But Joel,
Oh, no, I get chills. I feel it. Let's
You have
do
to
it.
let go
Oh,
of.
good. All right, do it with Sarah.
Let's hear it.
I want. Wait,
You can't. Go ahead, try.
because mine was 50,000.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever's a lot of money to you.
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
$10.
Yeah, I have $50,000 in my bank account.
Great.
Yeah, great. I have $100,000 in my bank account. I have $1 million in my bank account.
Well, wait till you get 50 and then to go to 100. And
So
then,
maybe I should
then
just
a
start
million.
smaller?
50,000.
Yeah, that's fine. Now, there's no reason to play small. If you start to get into the universe is an abundant thing, you're going to miss the whole point. But start with something that's high for you, but maybe not, like $10 million starting out.
ahead,
You can work your way up to it.
Go ahead, Trey.
What you
I have
got?
a gallon of milk in my refrigerator.
I have gas money in my pocket.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That is
Very nice.
relative,
Now, you
right?
may not, which
I don't.
Okay, and that's fine. But if you start affirming that every day, guess what happens? Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality and lack of reality. It's just a computer that you program. If you keep programming this way, it's going to find a way to make that reality. Otherwise, it's going to be incongruent. And it doesn't want to be incongruent. You're telling it one thing, it wants to make it real. Just like if a parent tells a kid, you're no good, you're not going to amount to anything, the kid finds a way in his adult life to make it real. So you're going to find a way in your adult life, which you're in, to make that real. That's the way affirmations work.
Watch this.
Oh,
Joel's
boy.
just came true. Here, Joel.
Hey, I have gas money.
Hey, see? There you go.
Craig, do you have $50,000?
Greg, I have a new Lamborghini outside.
It's in my pocket.
Damn it.
But I'm like
It
you, though. I
worked.
do like helping people. So he gave that one, and I immediately said, I got
That's
a
the
little
way it
cash in my
works. That's the
pocket.
law of attraction and
Get
action.
the fuck out
That's
of
what-
here.
That's what everyone's talking about.
See, that's your problem. You just affirm, get the fuck out of here. That makes me go, I'm not welcome.
Yeah.
I'm not welcome to help you. You told me get the fuck out of here.
No, like in and like, oh wow.
I know.
So that was the
Oh,
intention
in a good
behind
way.
it. Was wow, that's awesome.
Got it.
It's great. We just saw it.
Is it
happen.
in your pocket? You put it in
It
your
is
pocket
in my
yet?
pocket.
There you go. Bam.
I have gas money in my pocket now. It's
like
true.
it.
It won't get you
Absolutely.
down the block. You didn't even count it. But
He
still.
didn't say how much gas money.
No, it's gas money.
You
I
can buy
saw
some
5
gas.
in there. You can for sure buy gas.
No,
with
no,
that.
there was a few fives.
See,
Yeah.
Craig, you're
So
great.
it's not so important that you believe it, because that's my problem. I always try to find affirmations that I can convince myself of, and then if I
Your
can't
conscious
believe them,
mind.
I won't say them.
And that's your limiting belief. Don't operate within that. That's your conscious mind, is your limiting beliefs. Your reality that you can create is way beyond anything that you can imagine right now, because you're not able to conceive it because you haven't lived it yet. Being wealthy for you seems like a pipe dream.
Yeah.
But it's not. It can be your reality. So you've got to say things that sound ridiculous to you. I mean,
Okay.
saying that you had that money and it manifested, it probably sounded ridiculous, but you just saw proof of it.
Yeah.
So it's
By
the
the
same
way-
thing with bigger amounts.
By the way, in sharing my experience in this, not only just the knowledge of, I've read a number of these books and so forth, I have definitely had this happen in my life. And one of them was when I got divorced. What I said to myself is, I will find somebody who knows me for who I really am and loves me for who I truly am.
Perfect.
And that's exactly who I have.
Perfect.
And you know this, Joel. It's 24/7. It's all the time. That's what manifested, and it did start with that. I had a conscious thought every single day that I was single. I got laid a couple times in between, but still, every day that I was single between my ex-wife and now my current wife, I thought that. I just said that to myself. I said, there has to be somebody that is not going to tell me who they say that I am,
Right.
which is a projection of self and all that,
Yep.
and just negativity and and so forth. It's their own fears. I know that intellectually, but I said truly, organically, that's what I'm going to draw in.
And you did it.
And I did. And it
paid off big time.
No question about it.
All
And
the
it's,
time.
man, it's a lot of years later, so the experiment's pretty much over. 7 years later, still, that's what's happening.
You're reaping the rewards still, yeah.
And I never thought. And by the way, she was my friend. I didn't even think it was her. But it just something came to me in a divine sense and said, that's it. And it just feels comfortable, like this glove that's been missing, or something like that. Is that a better metaphor
Yeah.
again?
Yeah.
I feel
I
bad
I have a
about
question.
affirmations.
Do you have to say them out loud? Can you write them?
You can write
say
them. Yeah, you can write them. You can say them out loud. It's better to involve as many of your senses as you can. You see it, you hear it, you write it out, so you get the kinesthetic sense of writing it
Do
out.
it while you're having sex, so your vagina feels it.
Okay, Craig.
As weird as that sounds, that's actually pretty good advice.
Really? Wait.
There's an
Say it
affirmation for
again
your
then.
vagina.
I just tuned him out.
Well, during the-
Why you tune me out?
I've never heard that advice before, but we always talk about peak states in neurolinguistic programming.
So
That's
that
a peak
you
state.
have to be climaxing.
I love that he picks that one of all my affirmations. No, actually, Craig's right on that one.
Yeah.
Vagina
You throw
thing I've
enough,
heard before. I think
stuff.
it's fabulous. A fabulous idea. Of all my affirmations I send to my son, that's the best advice.
My writing one, when I write them, those are the most powerful. And
The vagina ones?
No. Writing. When I write
So
it in my
kinesthetic,
journal.
the motion for you,
Yeah.
as opposed to visual seeing it or auditory hearing
I get
it.
them word for word back to
Good.
me. Yeah.
We'll keep writing.
Yeah, that's a
Get
good
out
one.
a pen.
Okay.
I have a question. So does the hypnotherapy work like it does in the movies? Like, can you hypnotize someone and then they wake up and don't smoke anymore, or is it really
Sometimes.
just the beginning of a process?
Harvard and Stanford got together a while ago and created something called the hypnotic scale of susceptibility. I don't like that word. I like suggestibility. So after getting my doctorate in education, I rewrote the scale to make it a quiz and called it suggestibility. But everyone can be ranked on a scale. They can be assigned a numeric value of how suggestible they are. Some people are that suggestible. They actually quit smoking. Unless you took a puff after you smoked. Some people actually quit smoking after one session. Some people need a few more sessions. Some people quit. They start again. They need another session further on. Tuning the piano wires, as Tony Robbins would say.
How can you tell someone's
How connected to the higher source are you? I mean, in your work, like you just said, you met with Agape, Michael Beckwith.
Yeah.
How much of this has to do with, people have different names for it, the divine, the source, higher power, God?
I was a preacher for 5 years, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. And how much of your work is connected to that, and how much of it is connected to basically the intellect and the hypnosis and the subconscious?
I'd say 100% on both scales, actually.
100% on both.
Yeah. It's 100% spiritual, 100% intellectual, because everything that I do can be explained intellectually, and everything that I do can also be explained spiritually, the law of attraction.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, see, that's where I want to set myself.
Be there.
Yeah. Well, I am. Cool. It's mind, body, and spirit. Like I said, I go off a little bit, and I'm off the track a little bit right now. Yeah, we all do. And by speaking of that, one knows this is many times people who are trying to help others are not helping themselves.
Mechanic's car is always broken.
Yeah,
That's what I
okay.
say.
And,
I have a question about the intellect versus the divine, right? So isn't a lot of the affirmations kind of our self-will? Like, then where's the balance of turning it over to something higher? That makes sense?
Kind of. Can you reword it a little bit?
I feel like a lot of things that I've done in the past have been the biggest shift that has come for me recently is turning things over and surrendering them, and the divine will versus my self will, and so I wonder how to balance those two and
let go of control and let the universe take control.
Yeah, and that because sometimes you think that I think that I know best, and if you surrender something, that it won't be as good as I can imagine.
Don't you believe that divine will could be speaking through you and giving you advice and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily one or the other.
Yeah.
You can work in conjunction with it.
I
would tune into that. Through meditation, you can tune into that.
I get where I feel like that is with the money stuff, I feel guilty. I feel like, well, maybe I don't deserve it, and maybe that's a bad affirmation. So then I block it from that way, too.
Yeah. You're going to keep resisting until you see proof. I mean, you just saw a little bit of proof, but you may have thought, well, it's just some guy handing me a few bucks. You don't really believe that was law of attraction, I don't think. But once you start seeing it on a bigger scale, you're going to believe. So live in your disbelief for now. That's fine. But keep programming yourself. Just do it as if you have to do it. Do your affirmations every day, even though you think, it's ridiculous. I don't know, the Steve G. Jones guy. Just do it every day and see what happens. Can you do it for 3 weeks?
Sure.
Okay. 3 times a day for 3 weeks.
Well,
every day.
I have one more
All right,
question.
cool.
One question. You
3
keep
times a day?
Yeah,
Don't
right.
you hear him
Give
say
specific
Steve-
affirmation.
Don't you hear? Are you hearing him say Steve D. Jones?
G as
G.
in Gregory.
I know it says it right here, but I keep hearing a D.
I heard G.
Just to give you a little help, say the clear G.
G.
Okay, Steve. G. You
Not
go
D? My middle name is
I
it's
could
not
have
D?
sworn you've said D 3 times now,
Huh.
and I'm
Did
listening.
anyone else hear that?
No.
No,
Oh,
I
shut
heard-
up! It's,
What
I
else are you
got
hearing?
my hearing test.
So 3 times a day
Yeah.
for 3 weeks.
Your specific affirmation 3 times a day for 3
Steve
weeks.
G. Jones. Listen, we normally don't do this. Do you want to hang out with us some more? You're
I'd be
perfect.
honored.
We have another half an hour.
Why not?
Okay, we're going to play Laughing at the Stars. Maybe you could play that. We can go from like the spiritual and the subconscious to just making a fool out of yourself for knowing nothing about pop culture.
Why not? Which is actually what will happen.
You're
We'll see.
okay. We'll see what you know. But we do have a number of questions. By the way, we would love it if you out there would call us at wait until after the break, okay? Because we have a phone system. I have no idea how to work. 323-622-8623 is our phone number. It's probably up on your screen. If it's not, that's the number, 323-622-8623. You can call Steve G. Jones and get some suggestions.
It's because it's a tongue twister. The G and the Jones. G. Jones.
Yeah.
G. Jones.
If it wasn't for that punk rocker, he could just go with Steve Jones.
I know. F that guy.
Limey
middle
bastard.
initial.
So we're coming back. Our guest is going to stay with us. You've seen him on Millionaire Matchmaker on Bravo, along with many other shows. And qualified guy. He's a doctor. He can help you out. Give us a call. Keep listening. Coming right back. If you were watching a few seconds ago, I was downing a donut.
They're good.
It was a delicious donut. And you know what? I do have that issue where I go off of my plan, my affirmation on how I should eat. I go off sometimes. And it happens
That's
like
healthy.
that. It happens.
fine.
It happens instantly. I could just, I'm a healthy guy. I just went to the doctor this morning to make sure. Oh, by the way, what's our count on the blood in the stool versus the tax refund? Where our experiment is on Facebook is what do people like more, something negative or something positive? And so far it's twice as many people are all over the comments and the likes.
Tax refund, 24.
Tax refund,
26 total.
So 26 total of comments and likes
Interesting.
on the taxes. That's interesting.
Maybe the collective
By
consciousness
the way, it was a
is
lie.
shifting.
It was a lie. I kind of feel bad.
So yeah, but
It's a
you also
test.
didn't poo. You just ate beets.
Let's hope that was a lie, too.
Well, the poo, I really did think I had blood in the poo.
Poop in the pee, 68.
68. Oh, Sarah wins. That's
Dun
triple.
dun 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 dun.
Okay, Sarah.
That makes me sad.
Little victories are amazing.
Also,
And by the
tax
way-
returns. I mean, who cares?
I don't think like means like. I think like means they have some sort of reaction to it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is the premise was that people react more to negativity than they do positivity. I find this all the time, and people think you're full of it when you're expressing your happiness and your pleasure, and they're so used to and so indoctrinated in our society that's bombarding you 24/7 with here's what's wrong and here's what you should be afraid of.
Maybe they're concerned because you can post about having some disease and people would probably like it just because they're showing their concern, they're showing their reaction.
That's true. That is true. And I was saying the other day that, or we were talking earlier, my friend got in a bad accident. A lot of people were commenting on that, and they were concerned and saying a prayer for him and so forth.
Did they like it? Did they click on like?
Whatever they were clicking on. Yeah, it was more about the comments, tons of comments. Because, again, we were talking about it earlier. How can you press like your friend got in an accident and he's hit by a drunk driver?
But that's the only option we have. I don't think it always means I like that.
No, I know, yeah. But they do need another button. By the way, Pat, our good friend who listens live, doesn't call, though.
Cool.
Come on, Pat. Give it up. Today's topic is really interesting. Does this mean that I'm enjoying your misery? That's what he says. He's always a
question.
funny
Do you
dude.
like it, Pat?
He's always a funny dude. But so I wanted to ask you about the actual hypnotherapy. I don't know that I'm susceptible to. Do you find a certain type of person is more susceptible than
Not
others?
really.
Really?
I find that, Harvard and Stanford got together and created the hypnotic scale of susceptibility, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to call it suggestibility. But, everyone can be ranked on that scale. You can get a numeric value for how suggestible you are.
1 to 10?
Yeah. So you can find out that, but it doesn't seem to be related to how suggestible people think they are or anything like that. Yeah, in fact, some people who don't think they're very suggestible. Here's an example. People go to a stage hypnosis show, which some people think is fake, but it's actually real. Some people are that suggestible, and they'll go with their uptight friend, maybe the dentist from down the street. He's a very uptight and clinical type person. Next thing you know, he's up there on stage singing like Madonna, and he doesn't remember it afterwards. Now, the person who went with the dentist is a believer in hypnosis, and they realize that it's not related to how much the person thinks they can be hypnotized or how uptight they are, how strong-minded they think they are. It's none of that.
I've always wanted to be hypnotized, but I don't know that I'm susceptible, and I never have been. Yeah. I've never ended up on one of those stages. And
I'll give you a test right now.
Test.
That would be great.
Yeah.
But here's a question I always wonder: is that's one we were talking about magic earlier. I almost think that they're phonies and that they're just getting people to do improv because now you have permission. It's kind of like when you're drunk and you sleep with somebody and you go, "Oh, I slept with her because I was drunk. I wouldn't because she's ugly." But I feel I normally wouldn't, but, I get away with. Remember those days, I did it because I was drunk, and you always had those. Maybe you guys are still living this, but I used to use that as an excuse, but I knew what I was doing. And what I always say is with hypnosis and the drunk excuse, if someone has a penis, right, and you are a straight male, and they take the penis out and put it, and they say, okay, hypnotized, blow me. Are they going to blow them, even though they're hypnotized?
I've seen that happen on stage with these bottles. Yeah, some of the Vegas shows they don't do that exactly, but they use something mimicking it, like a bottle. The women will have bottles, the men will be sitting there.
Okay, that's different than a set of nuts in your mouth.
Well, I don't know. Really.
I don't know. It's
a bottle is completely different.
But they
do
did
it on video. They make a DVD of this in front of a large audience. This is something these guys would probably never do because it's embarrassing.
But a bottle is a lot different.
I would never fake blow even a bottle on
No,
stage.
I'm not talking about fake blow. I'm talking, take me down this scenario. I'm a gay man, right? And I'm a gay hypnotist. And I say, you must blow me now. It's a straight guy, maybe even a homophobic guy. Is he blowing him or not?
I don't know. I've never seen that show.
Okay. What an answer. I've never seen that
What's
show.
the susceptibility test?
It's another one of my scenarios. Can we take one call real quick? Okay.
Sure.
We did ask for calls. We will get back. Make sure we get back to that,
please
Sarah.
Don't forget, Sarah.
Sarah. Okay. Hi, 323, right in our neighborhood. Who are you?
Hey, this is Anthony. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How you doing?
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, you guys. I just wanted to ask a question. I'm a freelancer, and occasionally there's a lot of time in between work. And one time I actually went for a hike up the hill and in Griffith Park, and I just said, okay, God, universe, I'm ready. I need another client. I could use it right now, and I believe I'm worth, having another job. So I'm open to that. I tried to be as positive as I could. And it was pretty bizarre. I came down the other side of the hill, and the Doobie Brothers happened to be playing at the Greek Theater. I happened to take a picture of it and send it to my cousin who lives in New York, and she wrote me back, where are you? I've been trying to find you. There's someone in L.A. looking for you, and I have a job for you. So it was almost by the end of my hike I got the job. And I think that's more of a coincidence. But as a freelancer, sometimes that's how you get the jobs. It's almost it's the opposite of something where you go to a job board or you post something online. It's all about the referral business. So, how do you think you can handle that better to try to get more work?
You want to harness that and make it happen a lot of times.
Yeah.
Just keep doing the same thing. You believed in yourself, or at least you believed in the possibility of it happening. You put it out there, and that directly led to it. A lot of times there's a delay. Lisa Nichols from The Secret talks about this. There's a delay. So it doesn't always happen instantly. So don't expect it that way every time.
And by the way, our country wants immediate results. That's the unfortunate aspect of it.
Now, why is there a delay?
Because it takes time for the universe to work things out. It takes time for it to get back to you. I mean, a lot of things have to be put in place usually. In this case, it was already waiting, and as soon as he believed in it, it was delivered to him. So something.
It almost feels like though that's sort of the reason why a lot of people don't believe in the delay, because we're such an instant gratification society.
Internet, fast food,
and it almost feels like asking for it. I got it because I asked for it. And while it happened, I kept thinking, part of my business has to be the actual doing the job, and the other part of my business has to be, casting that net off the boat and looking for more work during the time that I'm asking, that I'm actually doing the current job.
Exactly.
But I'm actually so good at doing the job, I almost fear asking for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it was Picasso who said inspiration happens, but it has to find you working. One of those famous artists said that.
Yeah, it's true. And things of the divine do take time. The greatest creations of a higher source, the Grand Canyon, he didn't just go, poof, there you go.
Right.
There's some
Takes time.
mountains for you to enjoy.
Yep.
I mean, the greatest things take time. And sometimes our own mind tells us, it kind of fools itself. And we don't understand that rejection could be God's protection. That could be your rejection of what you're resisting and you're so upset by at the time. It could be the greatest thing that could ever happen for you.
Oh, yeah.
If I wasn't rejected
that's
by
so
my
true.
ex, for instance, I would not be able to be in this current relationship.
Love of your life.
If it did not,
Every day,
if
yeah.
I did not, I would not have this divine love in my life. And that was what was in store, along with many other things. Hey, Anthony, thanks for calling.
Yeah, and to Anthony's point, you should keep doing whatever you're doing. It's the old saying is the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Yeah,
if you
that's
keep,
true, too,
Keep
yeah.
plugging away, but keep believing in the law of attraction at the same time.
So,
That's a great
Sarah,
saying.
Sarah, what was your question? that you
Okay,
wanted to
how
do?
the
Okay.
susceptibility test.
Yes.
Okay, I like to call it suggestibility. Susceptibility sounds like you might be a sucker or
Got it.
something.
Got it.
But the official word is susceptibility. All right, so this is not the test created by Harvard and Stanford. This is just something that stage hypnotists normally do. To
Is this
assess
one
an
of these
audience.
things that somebody driving right now should not be doing?
They shouldn't do it because it requires both your hands. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
not something that's going to cause them
don't
to
be a dummy.
become too relaxed.
So just listen to us later at CraigShoemakerShow.com. That's a promo and a suggestion at the same time. CraigShoemakerShow.com.
I will listen.
And you can go and you can listen to this over and over again. So here are some tips on how to find out if you're
Suggestible.
Suggestible. All right, literally tips. We're going to use your thumb
Stephen
tips.
G. Jones.
Okay.
There you go. My mom called me Stephen when I was in trouble with the N.
Did I just call you Stephen?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
had
it's all
a freaking
good.
end, didn't I?
It's all good.
I was trying to make him different than Steve Jones. All right,
The
go
D.
ahead.
All right, so what you want to do for the suggestibility test is you realize that you can interlace your hands like this. So you
Yeah.
can clasp your fingers together.
Okay, I'm clasping.
Okay, so we're all clasped.
Yeah.
And then you can push your thumbs together. You can do that. All right. So you don't have to do that right now. Just keep your thumbs about an inch from each other, an inch apart.
All
Just
right.
like that. Okay. Now, the more I talk, the more your thumbs are drawn to each other. So I continue talking and your thumbs are drawn to each other. The more I talk, the more your thumbs are drawn to each other. Sort of like there's some sort of magnetic energy between your thumbs. It kind of pulls them to each other.
Mine are together.
Pulls them closer and closer.
They're
Good.
making out. They're
The
kissing.
more I
They're
talk,
clearly
the
together.
closer your thumbs go to each other. They're kind of pulled toward each other. They move closer and closer to each other the more I talk. And I continue talking. It's almost as if it's an irresistible force pulling your thumbs together until they're just about touching or touching. Okay, good. All right, so let's let go of that. Now let's hear the results. It looked like your thumbs were almost touching. Okay. Did you feel they were being pulled toward each other? Okay, and your thumbs were touching?
Mine are so touching they change the other fingerprint in the other
Okay,
thumb.
and you can let
Really?
go now.
Yeah, that's
Really?
how. Yeah, okay, I can let go now.
Okay.
Yeah, mine went right together. Of course, the stubborn Joel.
Yeah,
His-
I am
his
stubborn.
yours
I'm
went
stubborn.
further apart.
Yeah,
You went the other way.
It went the
they,
other way.
mine didn't seem to move.
How about you two? What happened?
Closer, yeah.
You
a little
yours
bit
went
closer?
I think
How
mine
about over
stayed
there?
about the same.
Okay,
about the
so
same
this is
stuff.
the suggestibility test, the type that a stage hypnotist would use, because they have to get compliance in the moment.
And they're
They have to-
looking for this.
Right.
Okay.
And that a lot of that's self-reported. Whose fingers were stuck together to get up here on stage. You know, it's a good suggestibility test.
Yeah.
They'll probably be compliant during it. So what this means is that those who had their fingers moving toward each other or touching are highly suggestible, which is good and can be negative because, you know, you got to watch what you listen to. Since you take suggestions so easily, you can also take negative suggestions.
I could have sworn I would not be one of those people.
See, that's what I'm talking about. The
But-
person you least think would be.
I want to do it again.
Results are already in.
I don't want to be one of those suggestible people. I want to take this quiz. Do you have other quizzes?
No, that's the quiz.
So Sarah,
thought I would
apparently
be
you would
sug-
not be on stage right now.
Yeah, I
barking
thought I'd
like a
probably be
Wolverine.
suggestible, but I'm
But it doesn't mean that you can't get the change that you want through hypnosis. It
Right.
just means it would take a little longer.
Okay.
For him, listening to a recording, or for you listening to a recording might cause a change almost immediately. For you might want to listen to it for a few weeks, which
Yeah.
is why we always suggest listen to it for a few weeks just to make sure we cover everyone. You listen to a hypnosis recording before you go to bed at night for a few weeks just to make sure.
Now,
Yeah.
I had an experience one time. I took a course, And the course was not about this, by the way, but it was an element of the course. It was one of those, LifeSpring, Landmark Forum, one of those things. And one of the exercises was they put us into a deep subconsciousness. I went into this place. It wasn't hypnosis, but it was similar. Is that right? Where they just put us into this.
They'll say it's not hypnosis, but it sounds hypnotic to me.
Yeah, and some of the other techniques they used was we didn't eat much.
Oh, wow.
We were, very susceptible. I think your alpha state becomes more susceptible because we didn't eat much. We didn't have much sleep. So when you get into that trance,
interesting.
I will tell you the truth. What happened? I became way, way more sensitive to energies. They put us through this thing where they said it was a mind reading thing. Someone sits across from you. And this is 20-some years ago. I could still tell you everything that I read about her. I had her husband down. I could see her husband down to 6'6". You don't guess that. Smoking a pipe. You don't guess that. It was all accurate.
You're tuned in.
And to not, I was totally tuned in. I'll never forget it. And I've had similar experiences since, but nothing as deep as this, where I literally read her mind. Is that hypnosis or is that something else?
It's hypnosis and something else. I mean, you obviously went into a hypnotic state, which is just defined as any time you're relaxed in what we call a state of alpha. And we can measure this by your brainwave frequency.
Yes.
So you were technically in hypnosis because you go in and out of hypnosis all day. If you ever daydream or you just wake up, just go to sleep.
Oh, my
when you're
God,
driving,
I'm accused of that all the time.
Those are hypnotic states.
They just go, Daddy, come back.
There you go. And you're very suggestible. So they should say, Daddy, buy me this because you're so suggestible.
No. When I'm in a state, it's thinking of how I'm going to lose money. And they're not going to get any more money out of me. It's usually, oh, my God, it's going to cost a lot. So, anyway.
So that is hypnosis, and it's also obviously some sort of psychic phenomenon that was going on.
Yeah.
And I'm not an expert on the psychic world.
Oh, so that's a different world. I guess that's what I'm saying. I would think that they would be enmeshed.
There are some crossovers, yeah, but they are distinctly different. We could say that because
and then there's the spiritual world. So they're all.
I was kind of considering the psychic world the spiritual world. Yep, but you asked me earlier, is my work more intellectual or is it more spiritual? And I said 100% of both. So I believe we could explain what you went through as either we could explain it clinically. Well, in that case, maybe not so much because how did you read her mind? So more so spiritual. But we could also explain a lot of it in clinical terms. You were measurably in a state of hypnosis.
I consider it a large state of compassion and empathy, and it's an energetic sense that I get. And by the way, this happens a lot. I'm even doing this work. I've done it with Sarah and some of her friends and other people where I can literally feel other people. It's like we're all connected as one. I can walk other people and feel them and bring them into the room. What is that called?
It might be called being a Pisces or a Cancer. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
My birthday is in a few days.
It's a water sign.
Yay.
I've heard it. Yeah,
I'm making an
happy
announcement.
Almost birthday.
I'm making an announcement. I don't want any Facebook likes on that.
Of course not. Of course not.
I'm going to have to come up with some negative thing like now I'm bleeding out of my aorta or something to take people away from the happy birthday. Let's see how many likes that gets.
Oh,
last year
thoughts.
I had carpal tunnel syndrome. I was so guilty about I have to press like all the times that people say happy birthday. I'm just not a birthday guy anyway.
You can outsource that.
I'm going to go to India. Okay, I like that very much. Thank you for the birthday wishes for me.
Bleeding what? Okay, I like that.
Steve G. Jones is clinical hypnotherapist, and you're based out of Savannah, Georgia, but you're actually
I'm relocating West Coast, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And so how can people get a hold of you and work with you?
My website, stevegjones.com.
Nice. How'd you get that? There. Nice. Good score on that one. Paid money for that, didn't you?
That's right. I think it cost $8 to buy the domain, yeah.
Really? You bastard.
Yeah, I shelled that
Someone
out.
took my Craig Shoemaker. It drives me nuts. Like,
really?
That's a comp. Yeah.
You can buy it. Do they have something on it?
He invited me to his podcast. I'm going to just go on there.
Another Craig Shoemaker doing
I'm
a podcast?
going to go on there and absolutely tell him the entire podcast, I must have my name back. Wow. That's the only reason I'm going to do it. He's probably listening right now. Yeah, there's a bunch of Craig Shoemakers out there. It's kind of weird. They all friend me on Facebook.
And one has a podcast?
I have 5 Craig Shoemakers. I'm looking at myself. That's not my picture. Huh. But so yes, I do own CraigShoemaker.com and CraigShoemakerShow.com, but SteveGJones.com, and they can get in touch with you.
Yes, absolutely.
And do you do work over the phone? Do you Skype?
Phone hypnosis sessions. Yep, we're now in the Skype. Yeah, we also have a lot of recordings. We have about 250 topics, so you can go there and find out whatever it is that you want to work on.
So I can download an app if I have a problem.
Download an MP3, listen to it on your phone. phone.
That I want
get a CD
unlimited
mailed.
wealth. I will.
Yep.
There's an
We
unlimited
have a free
wealth app.
recording. If you go to stevegjones.com, free wealth recording that you can get.
Ooh,
no
a
charge.
free wealth recording.
Yep.
We like that.
Contacting your inner millionaire.
Sarah,
Get in touch
I
with
was
that.
not aware of this when we met on a spiritual level.
That I love free stuff.
No, you love money. You
I-
really want to be rich.
I mean,
You should see your little doe eyes.
it's hard struggling, you guys. I'm over it. I'm over struggling.
But your little doe eyes light up with money. You just don't seem like that type of person. When I met you, when you were in your little doe state, when I saw you at
I'm not
Agape for the first time,
materialistic.
you're sort of like shy, and now it's like money.
Fix my car. Like, that's where it comes from. My
it does?
radiator's broken.
Oh, it's that.
I don't want to struggle paying rent. That's
So you got
where.
to focus on the positive side
Yeah,
of that.
okay.
That all that's handled.
Yeah, it's all handled. My
Even though it
car.
doesn't sound
I have
real
a
to you.
Mini Cooper, like an
There you go.
eggshell Mini Cooper convertible.
You
and
do?
It's fast, and I love it.
You do have
Absolutely.
one, or
Gets me.
or is this part of the thing? Come on, wink at me if that's not true.
With the
No,
doe
I'm
eyes.
buying
I know you're trying to
into
affirm it.
I'm buying into it.
It's an affirmation.
It's an affirmation, man.
It's her
For
reality
now,
that she's embracing.
it's
she's
my
creating.
Heck, yeah,
The
it's
reason
my
I was like
reality,
worried or not worried, I was puzzled by that is I wouldn't put that in, because when you have that greed look in your I'm sorry,
Okay.
that look of money,
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that when you have I got lots of money, when you're affirming, you would go Mini Cooper. You would
Yeah.
go maybe a Maxi Cooper, but I mean, I don't understand how
I
you
want a
go,
little. Yeah, I'm
You
gonna.
want a
yeah,
Mini Cooper?
I have
That's
a
a
Mini
good
Cooper.
That's
car
on your
for a
list?
female.
Yeah.
I mean,
A
to you, it's probably a cool
convertible?
car.
What do you drive, Steve G. Jones?
I'm looking
you
at the Maserati. I'm waiting for the new Maserati to come out. Just came over with the Ghibli.
Is that an affirmation? I'm trying to read it. It's like,
I'm looking at a Maserati.
I have a Maserati Ghibli. No, it's
I
not
got
in the
it.
U.S. yet. I went to the Newport opening where they had it, and it's not here yet. They just had the demo. So once it gets here, I'll get that.
Making some bank helping people. That's what I want to do. I want to make more bank helping people. As a matter of fact, I just interviewed to take a course in helping people. It's a lot of money, but and they were actually during the interview process, they were asking because they want to teach other people. You probably heard of her before. I don't know if I should say it on the air, but yeah, it turns out his mother, who the guy's interviewing him, is really famous in this world, and they were interviewing me to be one of the candidates. And I'm going, I knew I'd be a candidate because they want my money, right? They want to teach people. So everyone's a candidate, but he had me doing affirmations.
Oh, okay.
And it was really kind of odd that I'd say, I've made good money in my life, but he was trying to up it.
Yeah.
So he had me at $6 million.
Good.
It's $6 million. I'm making $6 million. I had to say that to him, and he goes, "Now you're in." I go,
There you
"Okay."
go.
All right,
Yeah.
but
Wealthy people want other people to be wealthy. We don't want people to be sad and feel that they can't pay their bills and stuff like that. We want everyone to join the party.
Well, apparently everybody's joining the party. Scott Miller on Facebook posted an affirmation.
Good.
And it says, "You are sending Scott Miller money on PayPal." Okay.
There's so many Scott Millers. That's
Yeah.
sorry, Scott. We need a
Well, this is our
PayPal
favorite
email
Scott
address.
Miller. He's a
Okay.
regular listener of our show or watcher.
PayPal.
What's that?
PayPal.
Get on that. Now when Scott says you, is that you?
I mean, the money is like very vague. He wasn't listening, obviously, to the
money.
show because
Yeah.
like we could send him
Sorry,
50
Scott.
cents. And
That's right.
he'd be like,
We had
ha
the million
one
ready.
sent him 50
See?
cents. That'd
He
be-
didn't learn from my bad affirmations to my son.
Yeah.
Can I run one more by him? I feel
I
terrible.
wanna be-
Absolutely.
I thought this. You know what? I have a thing that I come up with some. I think that they're original, like techniques to deal with child rearing in this generation because I don't think it's being done very well. I don't think we're teaching morals or ethics or integrity to children.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
think
trying
every
my
generation
best.
thinks that about the younger generation.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's not about the younger generation. It's our generation is not teaching them well through
Right. But I'm
experience
sure in the
and stuff.
60s they thought that too with all the uprisings
right.
and stuff. So
Yeah, well, I have a gratitude list that we do
Great.
even since they were little kids, and now I'm going to have to reevaluate this. I'm going to have to go, hey, that's not gratitude, according to Steve Jones. That's not a good thing to
you just
say.
got to dial it up a notch, tune it in,
Dial it up
laser
a notch
focus.
and be more specific. I
Yep.
think that's what we're getting out of this
Yeah.
today.
Yes.
I'm trying to find an old freaking thing here. Oh my God, I feel.
At the end.
How about love you? I did that one.
Nothing wrong with that.
I do that often with the kids. I just constantly tell them
Perfect.
I love them, and I is that specific enough?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong
I
with
say,
saying I love you.
love you.
Yeah, we're not making you wrong here. We're just like, if you want to get a result, then you have to be specific about the result you want. Saying I love you is always good.
Yeah, maybe my affirmations haven't worked for the poor kid. All right, I'm gonna have to work on some more. Maybe, you know what? I'm gonna go to your website and steal some.
There you go.
Do you have them up there?
I encourage that. We have, if you click on, we have some of the samples of audios that you can listen to. You can listen to them. Or
so you can listen to that.
Yeah, and you can write down what you hear. I mean, plagiarism isn't really welcome, but you can get a good idea of what you can do and what they sound like.
Oh, see, I'm reading these affirmations. These aren't good.
Let's hear it.
Talking about our Philadelphia Eagles. Birds look really sloppy, but defense much improved.
I mean, not everything has to be an affirmation. You're
Vic
just
is back to
venting.
turnovers and hitting the back of helmets. His legs help, but it doesn't make up for his idiocy. Okay. That's what I say. That's not a good affirmation.
You being a Scorpio, yeah. Trying to get him with that tail. Now, that doesn't have to be an affirmation.
I meant the
an
quarterback
affirmation.
of the Eagles. I wanted Foles, and he did great last week. By the way, I affirmed that I wanted Foles. He set a record in the NFL. How's that?
That's the positive side.
I put it out there. I said that should be our quarterback, not
nice.
short Mike Vick hitting the people in the back of the helmet with a damn ball. I thought that, anyway.
Complaining
I'm sorry that
good.
my affirmation against you, Michael Vick, worked in the favor of your competitor, a quarterback, Nick Foles. But anyway, I want to thank you so much. We had an hour and a half with you. We didn't even play our game Laughing at Stars. We'll tease it to next week. We'll play it next week. Thank you, everybody who was here today with us, joining us. Sarah Sweet, as always.
Yeah.
A pleasure.
A pleasure.
A pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine, sir.
Joel Geist.
Yes, sir.
Dave Neal produced today. Thanks for stepping in. He and Stefan are produced. Stefan had something happen. Wasn't able to be here.
I don't know.
Kimmy was with us today in the back row. We just had a lot of movement moving forward in our show today. Positive movement. We're going to go to stevegjones.com and let's all get well together, all right?
Yes.
And we'll report in next week. We'll have the finalists on the stool and the blood and the taxes. We'll have that. I told you we need an outro on this damn thing. I need something to say.
I loved it.
Don't end on stool.
Hey, give me an affirmation that I can leave people with. Every week
What
I
do you
go,
want?
Hey,
Okay.
remember, and then I go, and we're out. I need one. Give me one quick.
Well, if we're going to do it for everyone, we do need to do it general because we don't know what
I need
everyone
a
wants
general one
specifically.
to sign off on.
How about I am abundant?
I did that last week, and we never.
Did you?
We talked about.
right.
I would encourage everyone to make their own affirmations, though, specifically tailored
That's how I'm
to what
going to
they
lead
want.
people. Okay.
Make your own affirmation. Make it
it's
specific to
It's the Craig Shoemaker Show, encouraging you to come up with your new affirmations.
Hey.
See you next week.
Monster trucks.